Today we're going to talk about a story that's just fascinating. It's about one of football's most unique talents, a true local hero who won literally everything with his boyhood club, only to make a move that would change his entire legacy. This is the story of Trent Alexander-Arnold. Okay, let's just jump right into the deep end. We have to start in 2025, with the moment that, honestly, sent shockwaves to the entire football world and left a whole city just reeling.
So picture this. They've just won a second Premier League title. His status as a club legend? You'd think it was set in stone, right? But then, the unthinkable happens. After 20 years with the club, the Scouser and the team announced he was leaving.
And where did he go? Not just any other club. No, he went to Real Madrid. I mean, there may be the only club on the planet with a bigger global pull. For a player who was so Liverpool, you know? Seeing him in that famous white shirt just felt wrong. Totally surreal. It left everyone asking, why? Why now? And this quote, it was everything. It was painted on a mural right near Anfield. I am just a normal lad from Liverpool whose dream has just come true. That was him. That was the story. But that dream, it turned pretty sour for a lot of fans. When he came back to play against them, that exact same mural was vandalized. It's just a crazy symbol of how quickly that love turned into real anger.
So you have to ask, right? How did we even get here? How does a hometown hero, a guy who was living the ultimate dream, become the villain of the story for so many? To figure that out, we've got to rewind. We have to go back to the beginning.
You see, to really get why this move was such a big deal, you need to understand just how deep his roots are in that club, in that city. This story starts when he was just a little kid.
I mean, look at this timeline. It's like something out of a movie. He gets spotted at a club camp when he's only 6 years old. Then he makes his senior debut, helps him end that 30-year wait for a league title, and even gets named vice captain. Every single step was just building this perfect fairy tale story, right up until that last bullet point, the one that changed everything.
But see, he wasn't just the local boy done good. On the pitch, he was an absolute revolutionary. He didn't just play the right back position, he basically reinvented it for the modern game. Yeah, his job wasn't just to, stop the other team's winger. He was the team's creative engine, the main guy. The ability to run a game from a defensive spot like he did, you just don't see that. He was basically a quarterback, but playing at right back, a playmaker in disguise.
And this quote from Gary Neville, it just hits the nail on the head. He's David Beckham and Kevin De Bruyne at right back. I mean, come on. That's not just a nice compliment. It perfectly explains what he was. A world-class crosser and a genius passer all rolled into one. You just don't hear right backs get compared to players like that ever.
And it wasn't just talk. The stats are there to prove it. 60 assists. Think about that for a second. He was the first defender in Premier League history to hit that number. He didn't just hit it, he smashed right through it, setting a whole new standard for what a creative defender could be. It's just a staggering number.
And then there's this. When Lionel Messi, arguably the greatest player to ever kick a ball, calls you the future, well, you know you're doing something right. He saw it. He knew how special this kid was.
But, and there was always a but, wasn't there? For all of that attacking genius, his entire career was shadowed by one single nagging question. For everything he gave the team going forward, what was he not giving them defensively?
And this really lays out the two sides of the story, doesn't it? On one side, you've got all the criticism. You've seen the clips online of him getting beat one-on-one, and you've heard the pundits questioning his positioning. But on the other side, there's the counterargument. His manager, Jurgen Klopp, basically built the whole system to play to his strengths, and they even created this new inverted role that made him even more dangerous.
And you want to know how his manager felt about all that criticism? Just listen to this. Klopp said, "If anyone says Trent can't defend, they should come to me and I'll knock them down." I mean, that's not just a manager defending his player. That is a fiery, passionate belief that, inside the club, what he brought to the attack was so massive, it made any defensive questions totally irrelevant.
Okay, so keeping all that in mind, the genius, the criticism, the whole package, let's go back to 2025, back to that shocking transfer. Because now we have to face the big question. How does this move change how we'll remember him?
I mean, just take a second to look at this trophy cabinet. It's insane. He won literally everything you can win with Liverpool. Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, you name it, he did it all. You could argue he basically completed football with his hometown club. His legacy should have been untouchable, right? He was a champion, a leader. He was the face of one of the club's greatest ever eras. By any definition, he was a legend. Full stop.
And yet, none of that mattered. That legendary status, it wasn't a shield, because on that night in November, when he stepped back onto the Anfield pitch, wearing the white of Real Madrid, the place that used to sing his name just hit him with the wall of boos. For so many of those fans, the reason he left didn't matter. It just felt like a betrayal. And just like that, the fairy tale dream turned into a total nightmare.
So that leaves us with this one big, complicated question. In today's game, with these massive global superclubs, what actually defines a player's legacy? Is it all the trophies they pile up? Or is it something else? Is it about loyalty, about staying with the club that you call home? It's a tough one, and it's a question the Trent Alexander-Arnold story really forces all of us to think about.